What's up, y'all? Hi, my name's Neil. This is Gus. I'm here looking terrible. I don't know if my video quality sucks as bad for you, but I got to get a real webcam. That's part of what these live streams are for. Hi, my name's Neil. I'm working on doing some live streams. Just getting out here, being in the world, being on the internet, figuring out where poems can go live on the internet. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's it. I'm here. I'm just doing some poems. I've got this is ostensibly we're doing a little promo for the new book. I got a new book coming out this fall. That's called About Time, and I love it. I really believe in it, and I'm so stoked that I get to be out here sharing this with y'all. I'm gonna drop that link in the chat multiple times because, I gotta do my business and stuff. There's a little pre-order link. Oh yeah, I'm on Buttons. Hi, my name is Neil Hilborn. This is Buttons. This is Buttons YouTube channel, but I'm Neil Hilborn doing poems. So that's what's up. So all the poems I'm doing are going to be from the new book. And if you got any requests, I got a little bit of time. If there's maybe one or two old things you want to see, feel free to throw that in the chat. But other than that, I'm just going to be here. Saying words, being sad loudly, and hopefully you like it. So, all right, I've been opening all my sets with this, and I'm not going to stop anytime soon. So here we go. This poem's called "What's Good." Most of the world is garbage. So let's talk about what's good. Laughter. Laughter's good. The way mud feels washing off your feet is good. A new light bulb next to an old light bulb is good. Snow on top of snow on top of snow is good, I guess. The way your mother laughs in baggage claim is good. The 20 minutes between waking and being awake, that's good. A new book is good. The first day with the windows down is excellent. A newborn finally asleep is amazing. You know what's good? A stack of 20s and 3 days off. A blank check from you to you. You wouldn't know what's good even if it bit you on the ass, because it's not really possible to bite your own ass. You are incredible is what I'm trying to say. You're an escalator with flowers at the bottom. You're the first day of spring forever. Your pancakes for dinner and empty roads for breakfast. The stereo is good. The microphone is good. The PA, the chairs, the sticky floor is good. Your handprint in clay, that's good. The river running backwards, good. The takeoff and the descent. The 20 miles from home, the gray eyes, the silver lamp, the big table, good. The air we breathe is good. It's ours, right here, tonight. Thanks, y'all. That poem has a last line. It's a secret last line that I don't ever say out loud anymore, but except for on the rare occasions I do. I wrote it when I first wrote this poem. I was like, okay, I need a poem to open this next tour. And the first show, that tour was in Chicago. And so as a kind of a joke to myself, I just wrote at the last line. It's like, it's ours, right here, tonight. Chicago, how the fuck are you? And that's so every time I do this poem and I'm reading it off a page, I see Chicago, how the fuck are you? And that makes me feel nice. And I wanted to share that with you because I love you. So great. All right. That's dope. Here's some more poems. I'm just gonna keep doing poems and periodically checking the chat and saying how much I like y'all and how excited I am that we all get to be here together, and that the internet is good enough quality now to do poems on the internet like this in a way that it wasn't really possible before. I do have one thing in the chat. Okay. I'm thinking, all right, so I haven't gotten a tattoo in a while, and I'm thinking about my next tattoo. This has nothing. No, I'm going to bring this up later when I do the poem about tattoos. Okay, great. All right, never mind. But think about this. I might pull you to get tattoos. All right, I'm going to do a couple more poems. I'm going to do a couple of funny poems to get that shit out of the way and get my fucking energy up. Here we go. This first one's short, and this next one's a little bit less short. This one's called First Impressions Practice. Hi, hello. My name is Neil, and I hope you like poems about mommy issues and slowly losing your mind, because I was raised wrong and I am very crazy. I'm like if Caligula had no power and a credit card spending limit. I'm Captain Ahab without all the chill vibes. I'm the fly that can't remember the way it got in your house, which is to say, I'm constantly smashing myself into everything that looks like a way out, which is to say that the first thing I do in any room is figure out how to leave, which is to say, hi, hello, I'm so honored you invited me to your party. Sorry, I can't stay. Excellent. Good. All right, good. Okay. All right, feeling good. All right, great. This next poem is inspired by one of my favorite poets in the whole world. His name's Hanif Abdurraqib. He edited my second book, The Future, and he's also like a fantastic writer, sort of generally, right? Like he's maybe like one of our greatest American authors right now. Like, don't tell him I'm gushing like that, but he has a poem. It's got a long title, and I'm gonna fuck it up. So I'm just gonna look it up. When I say loving me. Yeah, okay, all right. So this poem, it's after Hanif Abdurraqib's poem. When I say that loving me is kind of like being a Chicago Bulls fan, I wrote a poem based on that. It's after him, and specifically I wrote it about. So this one time, okay, I live in North Carolina now. I used to live in St. Paul, Minnesota, and when we lived in a condo, and the parking lot in the back of this is going somewhere, I promise. The parking lot in the back of our condo complex backed up to like a retaining wall, right? And the wall, it was a shitty wall. It was a shitty wall, and it was owned by a weird scam church that was directly behind us, and they were never around. It was weird. It was a scam church. You know what I'm saying? And one night, at about 11:30 p.m., that wall fell over and crushed one of my neighbor's cars. Like literally heard this loud like bang, right? Literally just like totally smashed the front end of this Subaru. So I wrote a poem about that. It's called When I Say Loving Me is Like a Brick Wall Falling on Your Car in the Parking Lot of Your Own Damn Apartment Complex, after Hanif Abdurraqib. When I say that loving me is like a brick wall falling on your car in the parking lot of your own damn apartment complex, what I mean is that you shouldn't have parked there. The wall has been leaning suspiciously for a while, like a drunk in a steady wind. The wall has never had good posture, but lately it's been slouching as though someone asked it to solve for X. The weather has been bad, so that usually makes the wall more unstable. Bad weather includes heat, cold, no rain, all clouds, all wind, all teeth. What I mean is that even though you have insurance, the whole thing is going to be a pain in the neck to explain. Like a wall, a thing that is supposed to just stand there. Did you do anything to the wall? Oh, you just relied on it to do its one and only job? City records indicate that it's not technically your wall, and therefore its fortification isn't your responsibility, but the wall's keeper is aloof and refuses to be reached by email. The wall's keeper was a wall maintainer in the early 2000s, but since then a lot of shit has happened. Maybe you should have insisted someone reinforce the wall with Lexapro or weed. Maybe if you hadn't been around, its collapse wouldn't have been a big deal, and it could have calmly adapted to its new life as the ground. The only difference between waking and sleeping is your relationship to the horizon. If you're laying down, you're always asleep. There are ways to be vertical and accomplish nothing. The wall would dream about you if it could. All right, good. Okay, maybe one or two more kind of funny poems. I'm feeling the funny poems today. The other live streams that we've done have been a bit more sad, and so this one I wanted to see if the funny poems worked. All right, this next poem, there's some poems in this collection about like being a kid and some like kid memories, and this one I had completely forgotten about until one day I was in my writing circle. P.S. Come to my writing circle. It's every Wednesday night at 8 Eastern. I give a couple of prompts. We have some writing time. We have some We have some, basically run an open mic. All the info is on my website, neilhilborn.com. Check that out. Check out the pre-order for my new book. That's how I feel. Anyway, I was in my writing circle, and we're doing a prompt about childhood memories, right? And this one popped up. I hadn't thought about it in literally 20 years. And it's about one time I accidentally went to my friend's Catholic day camp and threw an orange that hit a girl. All right. It's called the Holy Lance. The most miscreant thing I ever did was my friend Evan's Catholic day camp. It's just one of those things. I slept over at his house Saturday night, which I knew was a trap because Sunday was for the Lord or whatever. But I figured that the one time I read Nietzsche would inoculate me. Tiny, crunchy heathen that I was, I did not know there were so many songs about Jesus. You could fill an iPod Nano with all the songs about the Christ we sang facing one another in a circle. They sang, I mouthed the word watermelon because that looks like most syllables. It was lunchtime for the third time, and all I had left was the big sassy orange my mom packed me. Huge, stupid, falling apart orange that represented our family. Overripe, finished already, only held together by inertia. Lunch was in the big gym. Big Catholic carpeted gym over which loomed big bleeding Catholic Jesus. Bone white Jesus on a bone white cross. Pale green of the stained glass. Pale green of the carpet. I hated Jesus just as much as my family, so I hucked the orange at his dumb, dead wizard face. But 11-year-olds can't throw that far. So instead of becoming Saint Longinus, I became a kid who threw an orange at a girl for no reason. She was weeping because you would too if an orange exploded in your face. I never learned her name. I was already being dragged by my arm toward the car. Two things. One, Saint Longinus, turns out the Roman centurion that fucking stabbed Jesus with the spear, that dude's a saint. His name's Saint Longinus, which also Longinus was like a Roman word for spear. Anyway, early saints are wacky. The other thing is mouthing the word watermelon. If you mouth watermelon and rhubarb along, like it effectively like you're lip syncing, it kind of looks like if nobody's really paying attention to your mouth, it looks like you know the words and you're lip syncing. So that's just a pro tip. All right, sick. One more funny-ish poem that requires a little bit of explanation. Okay, so in my writing circle, one of my favorite workshops I did was about mysterious sounds and recordings. There's a whole world. A lot of them are like number stations, which are this like Cold War spy thing, but there's a whole bunch of like weird sounds that we don't have a ton of explanation for. P.S. We have explanations for all of them, but it's more fun. It is more fun to pretend that you don't understand everything. You know, sometimes it's more fun for there to be mystery in the world. Anyway, there's this sound called the bloop, which was recorded a few times. It hasn't showed up as much recently, but by these like deep underwater microphones. And it's this big fucking sound, right? It's loud and fucking prolonged, right? And it's a weird, creepy sound. And so I wrote this poem in an attempt to explain what the bloop is. So this poem's called Cryoseism, which is the fancy science word for an ice quake. So, okay. So let's say the bloop actually is glaciers splitting. That's good, right? I know it's bad, and I know glaciers can't reproduce, much less sexually, but more glaciers can't be bad, right? Oh, what's that? We want like 2 or 3 really big ones? Well, I got an ice maker. Could that help? I know getting my ice to the glaciers could be a problem, but like, what if I drove to way northern Canada with my AC all the way up? You don't have to tell me I'm dumb. I know I'm dumb. I just want to help. And all the non-ridiculous things I've been doing don't seem to have done shit. So next time, instead of washing the pasta sauce that I've out of another fucking glass jar to go in the fucking recycling, bring my stupid little bag to the grocery store, I'm going to pack my car with ice and start driving. So that poem is about my frustration with trying to deal with climate change as a fucking individual, and trying to and by extension trying to deal with every giant crisis, climate change, political unrest, COVID, as one person who's not in charge even at all. You know. All right, sad poems now. Here we go. This next poem. Okay, this next poem is called Sevens Over Kings. Content warning for hoarding and for suicidal ideation. To quote my favorite TV personality / parasocial therapist / mommy, Dr. Robin Zazio of Hoarders fame, you gotta feel it to heal it. As it relates to hoarding, I think she means that if you never throw out the things you accumulate, then you don't have to deal with the emotional context around those things. You stack newspapers on top of the one containing your father's obituary. Once the baby toys have gathered enough dust, you can't tell which ones used to be yours. I don't have a collection of anything except maybe shoes with clean soles and gifts I give people if I could manage to see them, if I could manage to text them back. But I think I understand what it feels like to pile up nonsense until you no longer have to deal with yourself. My heart is a bedroom filled to the ceiling with clothes. My heart is so full, like acid reflux. Like the lake is all the way up its banks and a storm is coming, full like a dumpster outside a condemned daycare. And if you gotta feel it to fucking heal it, then here goes. I've thought about killing myself every 30 seconds for the last 20 years. I'm only sure I'm awake when I think about it, because in my dreams, I never once want to die. I don't say it much, because I don't really have time to go to the beige hospital with no shoelaces. And anyway, if I was going to do it, I think I would have by now, but that doesn't mean it's not always there. The wall that gives me shade even as I try to pull it down. The way out, fitted with a padlock and chain. I'm so full that every part of me is now structurally integral. Remove any brick and the whole house will explode. Ooh, I haven't read that one out loud in a while. That hurts, man. Okay. Whew. All right, more sad poems. This next poem is called A Wish for More Wishes. Here's another thing about which I was wrong. I used to be certain that in the event of a zombie apocalypse, my anxiety would suddenly go away. My paranoia would be an asset because ineffable dark forces actually would be out to get me. I wouldn't have uncertainties about my job because my only occupation would be get food, kill zombie. Of course, I know enough about being mentally ill to know that zombies are just a metaphor for any cataclysmic shift. It's just nice to imagine a world in which the exhausting parade of choices is pared down. I can't decide which baristas to avoid because none of the coffee shops are there anymore. You see where I'm going with this. Only things to do in a cage are sleep and eat when the door pops open. Your plane waiting on the tarmac for a year and a half. I once thought it would be ideal to decide 3 things a day. And then the severed paw curled a finger, and when asked, do I want to eat, send emails, or go for a stupid little walk, my answer was always sleep. So, when the zombies come, I'll be the one in the middle of the street yelling at the sky, because I don't think I could take it. I know something new about myself. When I most needed to be solid, I crumbled and stayed in pieces. When the zombies come, for the little while the cell phone towers are still working, don't call me. I'll already be gone. All right, a couple more sad poems, and then we're going to try to move out of sadness. Yeah, these two go together. I've never read these two poems next to each other. Yeah, fuck it. All right, here we go. I'm just going to do them back to back. This first one's called Satori, and the next one is called A Long Night's Journey in the Morning. Satori's like, fuck it. You can look it up if you want. It used to be that my only shot at enlightenment was biking in traffic. Something about keeping pace with a car for long enough to make eye contact with the passenger, weaving around parked cars while keeping their doors closed through mere willpower. Something about digging into my legs and extracting enough power to go could drag me toward a reverie in which I was never anxious, never had been, where I could be alive without feeling the towering weight of having to live. Then I acquainted my head with asphalt in a rapid, unsafe manner, and the doctor told me that I could continue either getting concussions or knowing how to read. So, the bicycle lives in the basement now, and its tires are sad. It's not rusted yet, but it will be soon. This is the part where I'm supposed to say that now I've got something just as good, that I found a new way to find myself, but I haven't. The stationary bike is fine, but it's just that, stationary. Being on stage is better, but I don't get to do that without at least a car, a highway, and probably an airplane involved. My brain is too shitty for yoga, and I like my neighbors too much to take up the drums. So what's a boy to do when he found Elysium and had to walk away? Am I allowed more than one oasis? What's the word for continuing to love the thing that tried to kill you? And this next poem's called A Long Night's Journey in the Morning. It's about rapidly acquainting my head with asphalt. I need to talk about the head injury I received in 2012. That was the November that I fell through as though I were a comet caught in Jupiter's inevitable arms. There are things to say about my broken bicycle and helmet, the mugging that got me there, the snow falling while the kids went through my pockets. I need to process those things too, but not here. Here, I want to say that the hospital was surprisingly warm. The nurses charged my phone so I could call Hugh and Sarah, who were waiting for me at my house. It was still snowing when they released us all at 4 a.m. with instructions to not let me sleep for a while. Warm like the hospital was the Perkins, where I ate pancakes and watched the sun come up over University Avenue. The pancakes were the boat and the syrup the river. The pancake boat of Charon and the syrup river Styx, the river through Asphodel, warm like the hospital, the boat, the pancake boat that led me through that unimaginable night into the tedious day. The day melts snow and allows robot phone calls. The day of alarms and bus schedules. The day I never asked for, but nonetheless received. The day came. And into its light, I emerged a more fearful person, all broken shoulder and not going out alone to greet the street lamps. Not all hard times turn you into a better person. Sometimes you go through something that undoes all the work you did before. All the yoga and therapy and being mindful, all that good shit just falls apart. Spokes leaping into the darkened row of hedges. Sometimes you're in pain, but you don't learn a thing. That poem makes me sad. I like this. I like the poem a lot. Like, I really like it, and I want to keep reading it. But every time I finish it, I just get fucking bummed out, dude. All right. Okay. All right, reset. Woo. All right, cool, good. All right. I like stuff. Let's keep doing stuff. This next poem's kind of funny. Okay, so a couple days ago was my birthday, and this prompt, I wrote this based on a prompt where you go to the Wikipedia page of your birthday. There's a Wikipedia page for every date, right? And so if you go to that Wikipedia page, you can see all the significant events that happened on your birthday. And one of the significant events that happened on August 8th, that's my birthday, P.S. One of these significant events that happened on August 8th was the Beatles crossed Abbey Road, and this dude, Ian McMillan, took his picture that became the cover of that album, Abbey Road, right? And I was like, that's funny. I don't really like the Beatles, which I know is blasphemy, and you can pillory me for if you want, but I also don't give a shit. So I wrote this poem. This poem is making fun of, but also sort of, you'll get it. You fucking get it. Okay, all right. August 8th, 1969, Ian McMillan takes his photograph, the Beatles crossing the street. First, 69, nice. Second, it's not that I don't like the Beatles, it's that I don't learn anything from them. Maybe if it was the 60s and I couldn't hear a sitar whenever I wanted just by asking my Doom rectangle, but even when I started listening to music in 2001, you know how you hear music before that, but it was never something you chose? I was sort of unimpressed. But having said all that, third, Octopus's Garden is a fucking slapper. Octopus's Garden could spit in my hand and steal my wallet, and I'd still ask it on a second date. Like, literally, Ringo was hanging out on Peter Sellers' yacht in or around or near Greece, and someone told him, passing the blunt like an Olympic torch, that octopuses make gardens from troves of shiny bullshit. And Ringo, knowing he only gets one song per album, said, "All right, lads, this one's about a mollusk." What poise and grace from the least talented Beatle. What a power move to look at people trying to make a statement and respond, "No, this is what I have to say. Stuff up here is hard. I'd prefer to be under all this, in the shade, with some shiny junk and an octopus." So sorry if you love the Beatles, but also, get a different favorite band. I'm just saying saying like the Beatles is my favorite band is saying like bacon is my favorite food. Like, yeah, we fucking know. You know what I mean? Like, anyway. All right. Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk shit. You know what? I didn't mean to talk shit. I'm going to talk shit all I want. This is my fucking live stream. All these poems are in my new book that's coming out this fall. It's called About Time. There's a link to it. Haha. Good. I'm gonna keep doing a few more poems. I'm gonna do a few more. I threatened I'd do this for about 35, 40 minutes. So I'm gonna do those poems. But I have a question about this. Okay, so this next poem is about stupid tattoos, right? And I'm thinking about my next tattoo. I think I finally want to get, you know what, Hallie? Yeah, I can do that for you before I get out of here. All right, great. I'll bullshit about tattoos in a second. But yeah, I can do this, not the end of the world. Give me half a second just so I can pull it up and make sure that I don't forget it. Because I should have it memorized, but also I've been hitting the head a lot. So that's not my poem. Where the fuck? I'm sorry, I'm just like in my Google Docs, just fucking around. And this poem should be. Nope. All right, I don't know where it is and I'm wasting time. So here we go. I'm just going to try to do this. I've been hearing that the world is ending. I've heard it so much these days that I can either completely ignore it or never leave my house again. That is, if I actually left my house for things that don't directly enable me to keep my house. See, I've been thinking about driving nowhere. I've been thinking about becoming a box inside a locked room in a dark house at the dark end of the street. I want to go away until I'm gone. It takes so much less energy to not exist than it does to exist and get burned. I've been burned so much, I'm not me anymore. I'm a stupid puppet version of me. I got strings that lead to nowhere. Nothing is pulling on me. I wish someone would drag my head out of hiding and sign my name on the dotted line. There are days when I can't find the sun, even though it's right outside my goddamn window. When getting out of bed feels like the key in the doomsday machine. So on those days, This is what I tell myself. Whatever you're feeling right now, there's a mathematical certainty that someone else is feeling that exact thing. This is not to say you aren't special. This is to say, thank God you aren't special. I too have kissed no one goodnight. I've launched myself from tall places and hoped no one would catch me. I've been in relationships because suddenly I was also exposed, but isolation is not safety, it's death. If no one knows you're alive, you aren't. If a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it, it does make a sound, but then that sound is gone. I'm not saying you'll find the meaning of life in other people. I'm saying other people are the life to which you provide the meaning. See, we're wrong when we say, I think, therefore I am. The more we say it, the more it sounds like I think, therefore I will be. You can't think your way into a full table. You can't think and make walls and a roof appear around you. I have thought myself into corners made of words and nightmares. And what has it gotten me but more thoughts? A currency that only buys more currency. So please, if you want to continue existing, do something. Learn to make clouds using only your breath. Build a house, even if every wall leans to the left. Love it anyway, just like a season, just like a child. Love how you hate yourself sometimes, because at least there's still something to hate. I know how easy it can be to think and keep thinking until you are the last person left on earth, until the entire world becomes no larger than the space between your bed and the light switch. But I hear the world's ending soon. When we go, and we're all going to go, I will be part of it. Thanks, y'all. I hope that was good. I think I nailed it. That's one of those ones that I've been performing it for long enough that I like fucking should have it in my brain, right? But you know, the brain is a funny thing, and I have been, anyway, I've slept since then and been in the head since I memorized that for the first time. But no, that's in there. So, Allie, I hope you like that. Sorry you gotta go, but also I hope that was fun for you. Okay, dope. I'm gonna do a few more poems, and then I'm gonna go have dinner. These, oh yeah, I like all these poems. These are fun. You're welcome. Anytime. Okay, so like I was saying about tattoos, I haven't gotten a tattoo in a little while, not since my last birthday. Well, no, I got this fucking moth actually. I never mind. That's totally wrong. I got this cool. I was in Michigan after a show, and I got this cool nope, wrong direction, Neil. Like moth with eyeballs on it because I was just like in Michigan and had a day off. If you're in Lansing, Michigan, and you want to get a cool ass tattoo, go to Fish Ladder Tattoo Company. And they'll fix you up right. So I was just digging through the books of Flash, and I've got like other I have like other tattoos, like eyeballs with wings. So I anyway, so I saw that, I was like, oh, perfect. So like, yeah, moth with eyes. Anyway, yeah, Carolyn, I can do that. I'll close out with the future. How about that? How about I'll close? That's better than the closer I've got. So yeah, I'll close out with the future. That sounds fun. Dope. But okay, but I haven't gotten like a larger tattoo in a while. So this next one is about a stupid tattoo. And my polling the group here, if you have any suggestions. I was thinking about getting a chest piece, right? Because I wear a lot of stuff like this, and I've just got these like tattoos that I got when I was fucking 18. It's like honesty and heresy, which is embarrassing as shit because I was fucking like 18, and it's okay. First of all, I was like, I'm an atheist, and it's honesty and heresy is the name of an EP of a metalcore band called Twilight of Idols that 6 months after I got this tattoo changed its name to Crossbearer and then broke up. So that's fucking embarrassing as it is. Anyway, so I was thinking about getting like a chest piece so I have like something a little more intentional, and it shows here. And I'm trying to decide what it should be, right? I'm thinking maybe this is stupid, but I'm thinking a possum. What if I got a possum chest piece? Would that be fun? Like a traditional like possum. Maybe he's even got a crown that's kind of sticking up a little bit. I don't know. Maybe. All right. If you have any suggestions, throw that in the chat. All right. This poem's about dumb tattoos, and my BFF Mark, who was a tattoo artist, and Um, I don't need any further explanation. This poem's called Dick Shark. So, let me tell you about Dick Shark. My friend Mark was a tattoo artist, and for Shark Week, he drew a shark with a penis for a head. He's always told me that if I ever decide to get Dick Shark, he'd put it on me for free. Now, a cheap tattoo ain't good and a good tattoo ain't cheap, but a free tattoo is how you tell people you know where to find good sandwiches and bad drugs. So, I'm contemplating getting Dick Sharked, and I'm thinking about all my terrible tattoos. The metalcore album title I got when I was 18, the crawfish on my ankle, the semicolon I got long before it meant people had lived through something just because I like semicolons. It's a very useful punctuation mark, shut up. The worst tattoo is the one you get because you think someone else will like it. If the point were to be more likable, everyone would just get Gandhi's face tattooed over their face. All the bad decisions I've ever made have led me to some form of happiness. My first girlfriend taught me that I don't like it when people are bad people. Being a fencer taught me how to live without any friends. So, a needle could make me the first and perhaps only Dick Shark bearer, and it occurs to me just how soon I'll be dead. I'm someone's great times a whole bunch grandson, and I'm amazed I live past 21 anyway, so why wouldn't I take my body? My body at which I have squinted in the mirror, my body I spent all my time hating. Why wouldn't I take this dumb lump and make it make me laugh? Knowing you will die is far more serious than actually dying. I'm not often someone I can love, so I'm going to be someone that makes me happy. I'm not yet the sea of the Dick Shark, but I know he's out there, waiting, hungry for my flesh. He loves me as only a shark with a penis for a face can love a man. And he can wait as long as he needs for me to love me too. Allie, I think you're right. He should be wearing a cowboy hat. And maybe even, okay, I've been thinking about also if I got a possum tattoo, having a banner, having like the classic like anarchist banner, having classic anarchist saying no gods, no masters, and just like really leaning into the honesty and heresy shit. Anyway, honestly, y'all should see Dick Shark. It was so funny because like literally Mark was, it was like Shark Week's coming up. I'm just gonna draw a sheet of flash, and it was mostly just like nice sharks, right? Like good, dope ass traditional tattoo sharks. And then down in the corner there's Dick Shark. Just little Dick Shark. And Annie, my lovely wife, who I love, and she was correct. She was right. That I shouldn't get Dick Shark. Because she said she would stop loving. She would not stop loving me, but she would love me a little bit less if I had a shark with a penis for a face. But you got to make compromises in relationships. All right, I'm gonna do a few more poems. This next poem is it's short and I like it. So I live in North Carolina now. We moved out here so we could have a little bit of land to do some hobby farming stuff. One of those hobby farming things we wanted to do is get chickens. In fact, they're hanging out in the yard next to me. You can't hear them, but through this open window, I can hear them walking around eating bugs and clucking, and I love them very much. And I wrote this sonnet about one of them, about Maybelle, who is my sweet little round Maybelle. So this is called Hen Sonnet, or Good Morning, Ladies. I know I'm letting chickens become my... I'm sorry. It's a sonnet. I need to get all the syllables right. Okay. I know I'm letting owning chickens become my whole deal, but I don't get to choose the way wonderment arrives to me. Yesterday, Maybelle, once the tiniest of the four hens, shy Maybelle who wouldn't dare receive from you a bit of berry, scared Maybelle, all flapping of wings and clatter of talons on the tile. Maybelle was the first of my first chickens to lay an egg. She'd been yelling all day in case someone nearby didn't know she was accomplishing something. An ode to May, smallest parade. Ode to May, round harbinger of the morning, hail Maybell, without whom there would be no breakfast. All right, a couple more poems. This next one is just a nice memory. It's about when I was a rollerblader when I was a kid. It's called Ed White Elementary, Seabrook, Texas, summer. It's 2002. I'm 13 and alive, and I just landed a 10-stair gap on my rollerblades. Yes, I know rollerblades. Skateboarding is hard. Jeff and I are out behind the elementary school where there lives the sketchiest staircase in Harris County. Cracked concrete, poorly patched with tar at the top, pitted asphalt strewn with gravel at the bottom. I'm skating harder than I need to because if I'm gonna get hurt, I should get really hurt. I think a 540 is the one where you land backward, or at least I landed backward facing the stairs. I absolutely stomped it. First try, 13 years old, out there dropping hammers in my new Solomons. I'm going to be the next whoever is a famous rollerblader. I'm going to have a future containing tens of dollars. I spin back around and there's Jeff, skating towards me. No rips in his jeans, not yet anyway. He wants a high five. His arms are full of flowers. All right, I'm gonna do 2 more poems, and then I'm gonna get out of here. We're doing a bunch of live streams. All over the place, kind of testing out where I wanna really land and do the most of them. I did one on TikTok already. I'm doing this one. I'm doing one on Facebook on Thursday night, 7 Eastern. So check out my Facebook page and my socials if you want to see that. I'm gonna try to do all new poems. I'm gonna look at this list and do none of the poems I did in this thing tonight. So if you want to see me reading a bunch of stuff, do that. If you want to come to my writing circle and hang out with me and write some poems and read some poems with a bunch of folks that I really love, man. It's my favorite. I love my writing circle. It's something that I started during COVID, and I kept doing it because it's like quietly become one of the most affirming things in my life. So if you want that, go to neilhilborn.com. And there's a tab that says writing circle. All the info will be there. Again, check out my pre-order, my book pre-order. I'll put it in the chat one more time because that's what I'm supposed to do, because my publisher will yell at me if I don't. And I'm on their YouTube account right now, so I got to do what they say. Otherwise, they'll do something bad to me. No, Button, I don't know. Button would never hurt me. I trust Button implicitly. All right. That's all the stuff I got to say. I'm going to do one new poem and then run straight into the future, and then I'm going to bounce. This has been so much fun. I love you all very much. And I'll see you here and other places on the internet as well. All right. This poem's called I Am Large, I Contain Multitudes. I would like this evening to make a compact with the stars. I would like us to agree that we will continue to glow even after we are dead. I'm not ignoring the dirt. The dirt will come later. I just want to begin among the stars. I would like to thank this world that allows me to be in it, even though of it I am so very scared. I would like to thank the one therapist in North Carolina who takes my insurance. I'd like to suggest, if your feet are cold, consider your laptop charger. I would like to acknowledge dogs and their willingness to receive pets from me. I would like to say that yours is the only permission you need to love yourself. I'd like apples to be sweeter and mangoes to be closer to me. I'd like 8 full hours of sleep, but I'll take 5 and a nap on a plane. I'd like to hurl wishes into the fog. I'd like to be ungovernable as a possum in a darkening field. That feels like a sign. I want to drive around the block because the song isn't over yet. I'd prefer if the no crazy pills didn't also raise my blood pressure. I'd like a time machine just so I can find out if dinosaurs had feathers. I'd like to thank concrete, snow days, the dark that's always rising. I'd like to thank the dirt. You thought I forgot about the dirt. The dirt holds my grandmother, and someday it will hold me. Thank you, dirt, for doing everything with persistence and grace. Thank you, dirt, for the mirror you hold up to me. Thank you, stars, for making the dirt and me. I promise to be the dirt one day. I would like this evening, in front of everything that lives between here and the end, I would like to make a promise. Whatever I've got left in me, you can have it. I've been gathering all these stones. I think it's time to roll them all away. Last poem, the future. Here we go. The worst thing about being naked and then being hit by a car is that road rash is a problem for skin. Why was I naked in the middle of the road at noon? I'm glad you asked. Imaginary other half of this conversation? I have no idea. Some characteristics of bipolar disorder can include dissociation, hallucinations, and fugue states. So sometimes I wake up in places I did not go to sleep. So there I am, nude, splayed out on the hood of a car like a slutty chicken, and I'm screaming about the government conspiracy to take away my feet. Not my real feet, just my brain feet. And I'm about 6 inches away from the concrete when I realize, in slow motion, like the exact opposite of a rhinoceros attack, this is not how I imagined my life would turn out. When I was little, I broke both my ankles jumping off a roof because I was sure a cape would enable me to fly. My parents attributed this to my strong imagination. Last year, my therapist called it a delusion. I failed to see the difference. Also, I really can fly and see the future and make stupid people leave coffee shops with my mind. 43% of the time. Sometimes I see people as colors. The point is, here's a list of things that my brain has told me to do. Join a cult. Start a cult. Become a cabinet maker. Kill myself. So in essence, become a cabinet maker. Break into and then paint other people's houses. Have sex with literally everyone. It reminds me of my mother. Fight animals that are much fightier than me. Like bears. So in essence, kill myself. I think a lot about killing myself. Not like a point on a map, but rather like a glowing exit sign to show that's never been quite bad enough to make me want to leave. See, when I'm up, I don't kill myself because holy shit, there is so much left to do. And when I'm down, I don't kill myself because then the sadness would be over. And the sadness is my old paint under the new. The sadness is the house fire with a broken shoulder. I'd still be me without it, but I'd be so boring. They keep telling me seeing things that aren't technically there is called disturbed cognitive functioning. I call that having a superpower. Once I pulled over on the freeway and jumped out of my old red Jeep because I saw it burst into flames 20 seconds before it actually burst into flames. I knew my wife and I would be together because she was bright pink the first time she saw me. I know tomorrow's going to come because I've seen it. Sunrise is going to come. All you have to do is wake up. The future has been at war, but it's coming home so soon. The future is the map and the treasure. The future looks like a child in a cape. The future is just like gravity. Everyone is slowly drifting toward everyone else. We will all be part of each other one day. The future is a blue sky and a full tank of gas. I saw the future. I did. And in it, I was alive. Thanks so much, y'all. This has been fun as fuck. See you here. See you there. See you on Facebook. See you at Variety Circle. See you out in the world. Love you. Good night.